Bismillah walhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala wa ba'd. As you're leaving, ikhwan, you'll see as you're leaving the building, you'll be given a leaflet, ikhwan, and a handout that discusses the project that we mentioned last week. We are then officially launching, ikhwan, the Masjid expansion project, which is phase 3 of the development of us-Sunnah. We began with phase 1, which was to raise the funds to purchase the building. Alhamdulillah, Allah Azza wa Jal blessed us with that. And we raised the amount to purchase the building and to purchase a plot of land on the other side of the city. Phase 2 saw the renovation of the building and getting it fit for purpose. As you know, it was a church, ikhwan, and so the church, we renovated the church, established the various changes that needed to be done, and renovated the building so it could be used as a masjid, alhamdulillah. And that we saw completed in the summer of last year. This then, ikhwan, is the final phase of the development and of the establishment of Masjidus, and that is the expansion and completion of the masjid. And as we mentioned last week, the completion of the masjid revolves around that middle section between the two buildings, between the sisters building and the main building, the area that now has the marquee in it, the tent that is in it. That area, ikhwan, we propose the building of a 2-story structure. And alhamdulillah, we've received planning permission from Birmingham City Council for 2 stories, which, ikhwan, was a great success. We didn't expect, and we were doubtful that we'd get 1, but we were given and granted 2 stories, planning for 2 stories. And so between the 2 buildings, we're going to erect an extension for the masjid that will connect this building to the back building. And so how it would work is the area that is the stage now, that will have something of a slope going down, because there's a slight gradient between this building and the building at the back. That area at the back will be slightly lower, so there will be a slope that will walk down into the extension. The extension will accommodate for the spillover of Jumu'ah, and likewise during the times when the masjid isn't full, the sisters can come out to that section and pray behind the men and be able to see the backs of the men. Similarly, the 2nd floor will accommodate for offices. We have no office in the masjid as it stands, for offices, for a library, and likewise for classrooms for the tahfidh al-Quran, and to extend the amount and expand the amount of children that we're able to take in the tahfidh al-Quran school. Similarly, at the back of the building, we said that there is a small extension at the back of the sisters building that will be turning into a janazah facility, and we'll be buying, inshallah, a hearse that will be able to take the bodies back and forward from the hospital here, that they may be washed and shrouded, and then that those bodies may be buried. And likewise, an office facility for the janazah facility. All of that then, ikhwan, is the 2nd phase of the project, or the 3rd rather phase of the project, and the final phase. And it will cost us over £200,000 to establish. It is, ikhwan, an amount that is a fair amount, but in terms of what we will be establishing, it is as economical as we have been able to receive in terms of the quotations or what have you that we've received. And so it is an achievable amount. It is an achievable amount, ikhwan. If we all contribute, if we all help and donate, it is our masjid, ikhwan. No one has ownership over the masjid. It is our masjid. Alhamdulillah, those of you who have been attending, I'm sure you've benefited in some way from this ni'mah, from this khair that Allah Azza wa Jal has given us. Allah has blessed us with a masjid upon the sunnah in this side of the city. Durus, muhadarat, lectures, qiyam, tahfidh al-Quran, and khair, ikhwan, da'wah. And that, no doubt, for those who contributed initially, without doubt, as long as we are all sincere in our contributions, the khair for that returns back to us, the contributors. And so if one missed out on the first round, or one wants to extend the usage, ikhwan, of his wealth in good, then what better to donate upon than a topic like this, or project like this one? A house from the houses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A house that Allah's worship is established within. A house where people are guided. Yani almost every week, ikhwan, we have individuals from the non-Muslims visiting, or individuals who come seeking guidance, or people who are not upon the Sunnah and seeking clarity. We have that constantly taking place here. And as it stands, ikhwan, we have limited room or limited space for conducting marriages, for conducting sittings of da'wah, and other than that. So this extension, ikhwan, is a much needed completion to this great project that we have started in the summer of last year. And alhamdulillah, ikhwan, so far Allah Azza wa Jal has blessed everything that is taking place here in the masjid, everything related to the masjid, and the brothers who are connected to the admin will tell you that alhamdulillah, some of the things that we've had some problems, and those problems, ikhwan, we've had issues that have come up. The gas problem that we had, since the building is relatively old, the gas that was running across the building, there was a gas leak. We had all types of quotations that we were quoted, somewhere in the region of £10,000. Alhamdulillah, we managed to get the project sorted for a fraction of that. Within £2,000 we had the project sorted. Any issue that comes up, Allah Azza wa Jal is blessing the project, ikhwan, blessing the masjid. And that, ikhwan, we feel is a good sign as it relates to what we're trying to establish here and what we're trying to do here. And so, ikhwan, the affair then requires our help, requires our contribution. On an average Jumu'ah, we get at least 500 or 600 people between the two buildings. If all of us contribute, ikhwan, a few £100, contribute for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, donate for the sake of Allah, you will see your donations, and we'll make a record of how the project is going and how the collections are going. And we will see, inshallah, that if we contribute and come together, ikhwan, the khair that we can establish. When that is done and that is complete, then the whole of the masjid will be one entity, and it will be one of the biggest of the masajid in the UK. It will be one of the biggest masajid in the UK, particularly from the masajid of the people of Sunnah. And so, ikhwan, let us work and look towards the establishment of this khair, the establishment of this good, not for anyone's sake except the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. This is His house. That Allah Azza wa Jal use us to establish His house, then that, ikhwan, is khair. Don't think we're doing anybody a favor. This is something that we're only benefiting ourselves with if we contribute. And so we'll make an announcement by way of some of the social media outlet, the Twitter forums and what have you. And by tonight, inshallah, the website will be launched that will have a breakdown of the project. In those handouts, you'll see a small picture of the proposed project, how it is to be completed. But on the website, we'll have some of the pictures of how the building now is and how we propose it to be. Likewise, some of the aerial shots from above and what have you, indicating the complete project and how it should look. And so, ikhwan, if all of us, if there are over 200 of us in here, if all of us gave £1,000, it's probably not going to be the case, but if all of us gave £1,000, then we'd have the extension, the money for the extension, and we could start building, ikhwan, immediately. If all of us gave £500 just as a contribution, rather than buying those new trainers or that new garment or those new shoes or something that is irrelevant, something that we don't really need, use that money in a way that we'll see it in the hereafter. Use that money in a way that if there's anything that we've never really done by way of good or we've never really given in charity, then let this be a start. Let us contribute, ikhwan. If we do so, £500 from 200 people, we have it. £500, ikhwan, afwan, from 400 people, we have it. And so let us work towards establishing it. You'll see the details of the project on those leaflets. And as we say, those of you who are following the Twitter account, then you will see details upon the website that will be launched, inshallah, this evening. And of course, you are able to speak to any of the brothers, our brother Rashid, brother Akik, and the rest of the brothers who are connected to the admin. If any of you wish to donate, and to help establish the project. May Allah Azza wa Jal make it successful and see, ikhwan, its completion in our lifetime. Hopefully, ikhwan, before the end of the year. For the end of 2015, it will be lovely for us to be able to say, for Eid al-Adha, alhamdulillah, we've done it. Eid al-Adha, and we can do it. Wallahi, ikhwan, we can do it. The money that we raised to build the masjid initially took us 8 days to purchase the masjid. 8 days, ikhwan, which proves that we can do it. We can do it if we contribute and if we decide, ikhwan, to make it something that we want to strive for, something that we want to be a part of, something that we seek the reward for from Allah Azza wa Jal. What is money, ikhwan? It comes and it goes. It leaves, we buy food and drink and it's gone. As Allah Azza wa Jal mentions, as occurs in that hadith al-Qudsi, do you have, ya Ibn Adam, from your wealth, other than that which you have bought in garments and now it's worn out? Or something that you've eaten and now it's gone? Or something that you've given in sadaqah, in charity, and sent it forward? And of course, I don't have to remind you of the hadith of Uthman, Man bana lillahi masjida, bana Allahu lahu baytan fil jannah. Whoever builds a masjid for the sake of Allah, then Allah Azza wa Jalla will build a house for that individual in Jannah. Every act of worship that is performed within that extension, every ayah that is learned, every ayah that is memorized, every benefit of knowledge that is achieved, any person that is guided, the benefit and the reward for that returns back to ourselves. That then, ikhwan, is fadlun azim for anyone who contributes. May Allah Azza wa Jal bless you, and may Allah Azza wa Jal make it easy for us to complete this good action and this great deed for His sake. سبحانه وتعالى نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى يوفقنا وإياكم لما يحبه ويرضاه وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد. جزاكم الله خير.